Hello, it's Monica from Crafting with Quilling. And hope you have absolutely fabulous day. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to create a double three-step fancy fold card with no cutting dice. If you've never ever created this card style, I really hope you'll feel inspired and craft along with me. For today's project, I'm going to use my Purple World collection. As you can see, there are 14 design papers, lots of elements to fussy cut, some reefs, sentiments, and digi stamps as well. So here you can see some of the elements to fussy cut. I absolutely love those flowers, and you can print them as many times as you want. If you're interested in this collection, I left the link to Buy Me a Coffee website where you can get it, so please check it out. As you can see, there are tons of elements to fussy cut for different occasions, and I absolutely love purple color, so I decided to create that Purple World collection. Here you can see some of the digistamps and you can resize them. So here are smaller ones that you can fussy cut and color in with whatever colors you want. I also designed those beautiful design papers, and I'm going to use those too to create my project. However, there are quite a lot in this collection. So as you can see, there is variety. There are also some beautiful reefs you can use. You can rotate them as well just to fit your project. And what's really good about this collection, you can print it as many times as you want. You also have some sentiments on white background, but also on some purple and black as well. So you can choose whichever one works for you. Now, I also have some beautiful leaves in this collection that you can get. Also, the design papers. And if you do have your favorite design papers, you can get this collection or some of the papers separate, which I think is really cool. Just check Buy Me a Coffee website, we'll have all the information. So if you like some of them, you don't really need to buy the whole collection. And now I also created add-ons papers with some polka dots and also those colored colors as well. And if you like them, you can get them separately, which I think is really cool because sometimes we need something very soft to create our projects. And then you can use your printer and print them as many times as you want. So here you can also see the other design papers in this collection. So now let's create our card. So I've got 5 1/4 by 15 3/4, and that will come from a 3 size card. So as you can see, I've got my 12 inches scoring board, and it is 5 1/4 by 15 3/4. Now using my ruler, I'm going to start with 5 1/4 of an inch, and I'm going to go 3 1/2 of an inch down. At 7 inches, I'm going down 1 3/4. Then when I'm happy, I'm going to go at 1 3/4 from down, and I'm going to do the same measurement, 1 3/4. Then at 3 1/2 of an inch, I'm going up 3 1/2 as well. So that will give me a square. If you're a little bit lost with that measurement, don't worry. I'm going to show you all the measurements in a moment. So now I turn my card and I'm going to repeat that. So from 1 3/4, I'm going down 1 3/4. Then I'm going to go at 3 1/2, 3 1/2 down. Now at 5 1/4, I'm going from down. I'm going to do just 3 1/2 of an inch. And then from 7 inches from down, I'm going to do 1 3/4. So these are all the scoring lines you need to create the card base. When they are ready, then we're going to use a craft knife to cut all those elements. So it is super simple to create. So as you can see, I've got my cutting mat underneath, and then I'm going to create those cut lines. So it is super easy. So from the second score line, I'm going to create a line to the fourth line, and then from the fifth to seventh. It will make sense. Trust me. So whenever you use a craft knife, I do encourage you to be super careful. So from the second to the fourth, then from the fifth to the seventh score line, and then at the bottom from my first to the third score line, and then I'm going to do the last two score lines. I'm going to match them. Super quick and simple. So as you can see, you don't really need any cutting dies to create the cut base for that double three-step fancy fold. As you can see, we've got 4 cut lines, which is super cool. And then it will be time to fold and burnish all those elements. And when they are ready, you can also use your bond folder just to make your job easier. And I do encourage you to use it. So, as you can see, I've got my bond folder here, and when I press, I banish all those colors. So this way, I'm going to make sure that all the elements are folded properly, and I've got that professional look. Have you ever created a 3-step card? If you haven't, I do encourage you to try it, because it is super unusual, and we don't really see it very often. So now it will be time to decorate the card. So I've got 3¼ by 5 inches white card, and the design paper will be slightly smaller. Then using that square, I've got 3¼ by 3¼ I need 2 of those. Then I'm going to need 13 elements measuring 1½ of an inch. And actually, I use all the scraps I had in my stash, so I didn't use any white card for this project. And I do encourage you to have a look at your stash, because I'm pretty sure you do have some leftovers from your previous project. So now I've got those 3 design papers, and I'm going to create some elements to decorate my card. So let's create the first one. So it is 4¾ by 3 inches. I need 1 of those. Then I need 2, which will measure 3 inches by 3 inches. And then I'm going to need 3 elements with the beautiful, soft, purple roses, and these measure 1¼ by 1¼ And then I'm going to need 10 of a different design. And again, it is exactly the same measurement, which is 1¼ by 1¼ When all these elements are ready, it will be time to assemble them using one and only liquid glue, magic glue, because it is a bookbinding glue and it gives me that time to maneuver all those elements, which I think is super cool. So as you can see, when this is ready, then I'm going to assemble it on a card. And that Purple World collection is just perfect for fancy folds. And you can also use it for any occasion. A friend of mine told me that it would be perfect for wedding invitations. What do you think? Would that work? Or would you rather use it for birthday cards? Please let me know. What do you think? So as you can see, this card comes together super quickly. And I do encourage you to keep those templates in your stash to create your card bases. So this way it's going to be super easy to create multiples of them, which I think is really cool. And if you do like fancy folds, I'm going to have quite a few more coming on my channel. So please subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. And if you do like this Purple World collection, I would really like to know what's your favorite part of it. And if you would like to check it, I left the link to Buy Me a Coffee website where you can get it. So please check it out. So when these elements are ready, as you can see, I decided to have those 3 with softer purple roses. And this way, I'm going to have a little bit more interest on my card. So if you've never ever created double 3-step fancy fold, I really hope you'll feel inspired. So let's start putting the biggest element first. I think this is the easiest bit, right? Let's start with the big elements. Then I'm going to add those squares, which will measure 3¼ and 3¼ And when they are ready, then I'm going to start with that soft purple roses, because I really want to have that element here. And when they are ready, I'm also going to finish off with all the rest of the smaller squares. If you'd like to get measurements for a smaller card that you can use a full-size card to create this card, please let me know in the comments down below. So I'll try to work out the measurements and have that tutorial for you coming very soon. And if you like fancy folds, I do have quite a lot on my channel, so you can check my playlist at the top right corner. I really like those, So I thought, why not? Let's play with that Purple World collection, create something unusual. Actually, at the end of this video, I'm going to show you one more cut exactly in the same double three-step fancy fold style, but with few different elements from my Purple World collection, and I would really like to know which one do you like better. So stay tuned for that. So as you can see, this cut is super easy, and you don't really need any cutting dice to create it, which I think it is a massive bonus, right? So when these elements are ready, then you have to decide what sentiment do you want to use. And I also decided to use the same cut I use for the cut base. So this way, all my elements will match. As you can see, the cut folds really well, and you will have plenty of space to write your message on the back. And it stands proudly on a flat surface, which I absolutely love. So, in this collection, you get lots of elements to fussy cut, including beautiful flowers and leaves. So here, I decided to have two leaves at the front panel, and they are symmetrical, which I absolutely love. I always like to use symmetry in my card making, so I couldn't resist when I was designing that Purple World collection. Now, when the sentiment is ready, we did the dry run, and I'm happy with the placement of all the elements. So, it is time to use some double-sided foam adhesive for extra interest. And if you do like your favorite double-sided foam adhesive, please let me know where do you get it from. You can also use a poke tool to peel off the backing, and that will make your job easier. For the sentiment, I decided to use two layers of double-sided foam adhesive, which I think it is crucial, especially with some dimension on the flowers. Do you use that trick in your card making, or do you only use one layer of double-sided foam adhesive? Please let me know in the comments down below. So, the cut is nearly complete, and I have to admit that I absolutely love it. If you like it as well, I would really like to know what's your favorite part. And so, when this is ready, it will be time to put it on the card front. And to be honest, with that double three-step fancy fold card, you can change the orientation of this card, and that will be a different fancy fold as well, which I think is really cool. So I might do it in the future. So the card folds flat and it looks stunning, right? So, do you like it? Please let me know in the comments down below. And what's really good about this, it also stands proudly on a flat surface. So, if you like this card, check the description down below for Buy Me a Coffee website. Now you can see my second card where I use exactly the same measurements but different design papers. And I use a cutting die to create that beautiful oval for the sentiment, which is slightly different. And I also added some gems as well. So, which one is your favorite? Please let me know in the comments down below. And what occasion would you like to use that Purple World collection? Thank you so much for watching and spending that time with me. Don't forget to like this video, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And don't forget to hit the notification bell because I've got quite a lot of videos coming your way. Have a wonderful day and happy crafting!